We got Tommy G and Prosciutto Papi in the Sandbox.
I walked in, I said, Steve, I need an espresso. I see the machine.
Nice and early. It's 1 in the afternoon.
I pounded a Jack's burrito on the way.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I miss my people
ketchup
over
packets
Jack.
on and everything.
I was driving with my niece, eating it.
Kids got the ketchup stains in the new Volvo.
I gotta say, though, Jack's, great place. It's good price, good value there, but... Bro, you go in there for 5 minutes, you stink. You stink like breakfast.
You do. The line's always crazy, but I do love that, like, you walk in there and you see Jill, the ladies and the guys map behind the stove and shit like that. Yeah. They're always good people, good vibes.
You go in there, you're seeing someone you know.
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
nice, though. It's a local spot.
It is a nice spot.
Only.
It is a nice spot.
You know what I
mean?
mean?
Cash only. How weird is that, bro?
Hey, they're probably making cake like that.
I know.
You know?
What do you got going on back there?
Yeah, right. That's
sketchy.
not funny. But guys, the last time we were probably together like this, Chad, we were probably yelling at Tom to come play goalie for Street Hawk. Probably, you guys obviously, working together, really often, and seeing you guys at a couple of tournaments. Chad's been on the podcast a couple of times. But Tom, I mean, it's been a minute, so it's
been a long time, bro.
It definitely has. There's a lot I wanted to really get you guys on and talk to you about. Did you guys get the gym in today after the Celtics last night?
Monday through Friday. Monday through Friday.
That's all good.
Need the weekends off.
That's a commitment.
I was in North Conway for a few days with my girl, but I went Thursday, Friday.
You skiing?
No. Dude, I keep seeing. I used to ski when I was younger with my parents, but. Bro, I haven't been recently because I'm just like I see all these people get injured and shit. I'm like, it's just I'm not for it.
Skiing's the number one way to tear your ACL.
Is it?
Yeah, because it's all lateral.
I gotta get in a little better shape too. It's just like I'm not ready for that. Right
Tom, when was the last time you skated?
Wow, bro,
Providence?
Long time, bro.
Yeah,
probably. Yeah, we did a video for the Providence Bruins like a year and a half ago. We got to go on the ice. But that wasn't like goalie. Like the last time I actually played goalie, bro.
I was gonna say, you doing the house league or anything like that?
You know what's mad funny?
Years,
He'll always send me a screenshot. There's so many people that ask him to like suit up and play.
Still, bro, I still get texted like some random men's league guys from these bosses. Like, Tommy, I got an 8 p.m. skate goalie drop. Can you come play?
Yeah, I know.
Like, no, man, I can't.
I feel that. Honestly, like I'm sure at this point you'd rather like just skate and like shoot, like rather than like play goalie at this point.
Yeah, that's like, bro. I definitely think I'll pick it up again. I just think. Number one, obviously, we're like busy with a ton of other shit. When I get home, I just want to chill. Yeah. And number two, it's like this part of me that's like I haven't skated in 2 years. Like I'm kind of like I gotta get a couple practice games. Like I feel like I would suck if I.
Yeah, that's like playing ball. Like dudes ask me to play full. I'm like, yo, I gotta like.
I'm playing tomorrow at Eastie. Nah, I haven't played in a minute. I'm happy that I'm able to run around like that, dude. Just like with work, like doing like the my regular job and then coming over doing the podcast at night. Like I literally sit here like 12 hours a day, and I'm looking for an excuse. Like I'll go for walks and just do that just to like move and shit. But like I'll see it myself here from 8 to like 12, 1. And I'm like, yo, I need to move.
Yeah, no, it's crazy too. I was thinking about before I came up here because obviously I knew we were doing the pod. I was thinking about my freshman year hockey team.
Yeah.
When you're senior year, bro, like how I broke my leg in football my freshman year, and then I wasn't sure I was gonna play, so Steve was playing goalie for like the first half of the year,
and then we switched.
And Steve hopped on D. I got in net, bro. That was probably out of my 4 years. That might have been, I don't know. Probably my junior year was my favorite year because we had like the lockets. Everyone was seniors, but that was right behind it, bro. That was a fun year.
Dude, it was, and like I really thought like you guys definitely had the talent in the squad, but I was like, you guys probably bro. Like
sophomore year too. I mean that was that year was dope too because we beat Lynn. I feel like a fucking high school hero right now. I'm reminiscing on the glory days right now. But yeah, we beat Lynn. We had like 9 guys, so that year was dope. But yeah, bro, junior year it was tough. That was the end of my real competitive career. Then senior year, we barely had a team.
So also probably the first and last dude to win a city championship in hockey for 2 different schools
in the same division.
Yeah, BLA. He's 7th and 8th grade.
Latin Academy, 8th grade, dude. It just happened. My 7th grade year, I played JV, and then 8th grade. Their senior goalies were gone, and they didn't have a goalie. So I was an 8th grader, and I had to play goalie for the varsity team. So I'm like 14 playing against these 18-year-olds, which is like a huge age gap.
Yeah,
it made me a lot better. Like I took levels that year, bro, because I just like experience. You just have to like learn to keep up.
Yeah.
And then we ended up playing Eastie in the city championship every year, even though both of us didn't have great records. You still have to play your league playoff.
For sure.
And we beat you. I think we beat you guys like 2-1. And then the next year I went to Eastie and played BLA, and we beat them in what was it overtime we won that game?
Yeah, it was. Because Rob hit the game-winning goal.
Did he? Yeah.
At 4-3. That was like a couple seconds in.
I think that was my only city championship. I don't think I ever won another city championship after that.
For Eastie, you're
after
saying.
Eastie, that was the last one, right?
I know. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel proud to like be a part of that. Like, I was the captain, but it was like I wish obviously this is just like a high school team and shit like that. And we could talk about the fucking stadium football days too. Dudes don't know about that. The lines aren't even in the outfield no more. But
nah, they're not, bro. That's crazy.
We were literally torn apart before the last 10 games of the season. Me and Matt fought in the locker room.
Bro, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
bro.
and then we went on a 10-game win streak. Me, John, and Kenny got stripped the captain spots at that game. That I forget who was fighting and got kicked out, but that literally happened, and the rest was history.
Bro, I swear to
remember
God, on
going
our
to the
seasons,
game.
like we could have literally had 30 for 30s on those seasons.
Legit.
Especially with like the characters we had on the teams.
That's
like
what I'm
Coach
saying.
Bob is the coach. You got the Charlestown kid. You got fucking Dimp. It's
just real.
You got like Matt. Then you got me. You got Rita, the backup goalie.
Yeah, legit.
It's just Goldberg.
It's just like so many personalities.
I mean, bro, it's a
Oh,
real
man.
movie. It's a real movie.
But that's what
It
people
is.
don't get. I feel like a lot of people, especially with the social media, like they're like, "Oh, where you from, Eastie? Cool."
They
But
don't know.
really realize like where we went to high school, like the team we had. Like we were with like
Yeah.
real inner city kids, like not
Absolutely.
like suburban kids.
real.
Like it's so night and day.
Even
We
middle
grew up
school,
different.
dude. Even middle school, I used to take the fucking school bus to the Summer Tunnel every single day. You know,
Legit.
passing the garden, going right to the Edwards.
Edwards, I was
and
gonna
the
say,
Edwards
yeah.
was all kids from all over the city. Charlestown
bro.
kids, Eastie kids. You had Dorchester, everyone. It was
sure.
so sick, though, bro.
A lot's been going on for you guys specifically, since then. I mean, you guys have adopted yourselves into the Tommy G and Prosciutto Papi. With that, you guys created its content. You got the Boston hats. We got the hats up
go.
top. We just got
Appreciate
the
it.
Eastie ones.
Appreciate the support.
Of course. I just want to, hear everything that's really like gone into that. Like, people see, what you guys are sharing on social media.
Yeah.
But I don't want to say it was like a huge life change, but things have definitely like been moving differently for you guys. You have to think differently. You guys are doing different shit than a lot of other people in the city. So
I like how you said that too, because it's really not like a huge life change. Like I always say this to him too. I'm like, bro, we're gonna stay the same people.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, yeah, as far
like
as like
always.
our personality, like that'll never change. And where we came from will never change. Like I still, like I said, I say it publicly. I still live at home, like in East
Yeah.
Boston. Like it's not much has changed, but I would say my mentality changed a lot. Like I was very content going to like obviously UMass Boston and then going to work at Massport or something, which is there's nothing wrong with that. But if I didn't find the social media shit, I would never have realized like what it's like to open up your own business or be an entrepreneur. And like that's where I found my real passion. Like my passion wasn't to work at a job site. Like that's just not me. But I found my passion with the videos and doing that stuff. So it was life changing as far as like my mentality towards it. But I mean, as humans, like we're always gonna stay the same people.
exactly.
No
of
matter
course.
It's the
what.
same with me, because I started doing the videos with him, and then if I didn't meet her, dude, my life would have
Crazy,
never
right?
changed like this for sure. Because I would have.
Because we were doing videos together, but you never had like your own page.
Bro, I was
Like,
set
you
on
weren't-
trying to do the military for 20 reserves, get benefits from that, and work just a
regular job to just
blue
pay the
collar
bills.
job,
Yeah.
bro. Wanted to be a cop. It's just crazy how life just switched, bro.
I know you were kind of like frustrated about that whole cop shit too.
That's why I went to the military. Well, big reason I went to the military, I had no roof over my head, bro. So,
Yeah.
but that obviously was like level to be a cop as well. So,
I
but
think too, like growing up here, like both my parents are blue collar. I feel like that's like a lot of our parents.
Ralphie!
Ralphie's a post carrier for fucking 25 years, 30 years. My mother's worked 3 jobs her whole life, like, you know what I mean? Different jobs, whether it be cross guard, teacher, catering, like just all blue collar shit. So we never had like, or I never had like any mentors really to show me like what it's like to open up a business or do this. So I was always cool with just like, all right, well, this
Whatever
is the
it
path, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Go work a blue collar job. You hate your wife in 15 years, but you stay together. You know,
Literally,
that's
though.
really like just the boss.
so true though, bro. Growing up, there was no mentors, there was no one to look up to. I literally grew up, this is probably you guys too, but I grew up seeing people and I was like, damn, I don't want to be like you. I don't want to be like you. I don't want to be like you.
I've been doing like the podcast for like close to 5 years now, which is even crazy to say. But just thinking back then, like I feel like podcasts weren't like as mainstream like at that point in time. You know what I mean? And for me to just be someone, I was at Eastie, I was going to Salem State, like when we were creating this, like it definitely was different because I feel like there weren't those profiles or like the content creation and influencer type vibes back in like 2018, 2019 like that. The world really changed through COVID, and that's when like those platforms were kind of becoming like adaptable to you can do this whether you want to, whether people like it, whether you're not. And I feel like a lot of that just really came down to like blocking out the noise. And that was like a big part of like what I had to learn. And I wasn't going to not live the life that I wanted because of somebody else's opinion. And once that really like switched for me, I feel like that's kind of when I went like full go. And I've been working on like a little project about showing like where we started with the podcast. Like you've seen both of you seen my grandmother's basement. I was living down there and
would you have like a little kit, like a little blanket up blocking like for the studio?
Bro, like yeah, we bought like backdrops off of Amazon, and me, Kevin, Lou will literally putting a single mic on a footrest and sitting around and speaking into that.
Sick, bro.
And now, like, just to be able to have all this, like, that's why, like, regardless of what people, like, say or do, like, there's growth, and, like, I'm proud of that, and I'm going to keep
so
on
much
that,
growth,
you know?
Because even we, like, get sometimes caught up either whether it's, like, comparing yourself to other people or, like, listening to what other people say, like, negative shit, or even just in your own head, like, oh, am I doing enough? But then you really look back to, like, where we were a year ago with the year before that when I first started. It's like, wow, bro, it's like the growth is there.
Yeah.
It's just hard to see through it sometimes when your head's down working, you know what I mean? But it's good to sit back and like really understand like how far you've come. But that's dope. You're doing like what would you say, a little documentary kind of thing?
No, so so it's nothing crazy, but like it's just like all part of like the progress. Like I'm not putting together like a video or anything like that, but it's just like whether it's like just like a carousel like on Instagram,
cool.
but it's just stuff that like I want to have for like the future too, because who knows where this is going to continue to go. And like that's why, like, I don't know if you guys see like the Instagram or like even like our YouTube channel or anything like that, but I don't delete like any of the old shit because I feel like that's part of like what it is, you know. And like I don't want to hide that or like anything like that. Like I'm fully owning the fact that happened, and that's where we were, and this is where we are.
And I think the number one thing, bro, you guys have done such a good job with it, is just consistency, bro. And you guys have done it, and like even if you hit roadblocks and shit, bro, like I don't know what the situation is. Like obviously you started with Kev and Lou, and then you know if they're off and on with the hosting and stuff, like you just keep powering through it, bro. That's the number one thing. You're just gonna keep doing that, and you'll do live shows, bro. Like you just gotta keep going, and it's gonna be dope to look back and see your grandmother's basement when you're on a stage talking in front of people. Legit. That's a goal for us too. Like we want to do something like that too.
The opportunities are endless when you're consistent.
That's another thing with the social media space. When I say like my mentality changed, like there's no ceiling with this shit, which I love. Because that's what gets me up every morning. Because I'm like, I'm not waking up to go work for someone every day. Which again there's no shade to that. Like if that's what you're cool with doing, that's fine. But I'm not passionate to do that.
For sure. Right, because all it really takes is just like I'm just making something up. Like I don't know, someone at some type of media company, like whether it's like something, it's like, oh wow, look at this kid doing the podcast. He's really doing this, and then like they really see it, and it's like, damn, wow, okay, he's just been going for years. Like, all right, let's offer him a job. Yeah, like it's literally just like that.
Talking about that with Nikki, the kid Nikki Cass. We were talking to him on the phone yesterday, and he's a very successful creator. He's bigger than us on social media, but he was talking to us, giving us like some tips and stuff of like some advice. And he was saying like how he isn't too fixated on numbers and stuff like that, or he tries not to be. But we were just talking the other day, and like on our YouTube, you can go back. Like it's not like some of them get some good views, but like there's a lot with like not that many views, or even on my TikTok sometimes or Instagram. But that's all. It's all proof of concept. It's all our body of work that it's like a resume almost.
We're not deleting those. You know what I mean?
No. And I feel like one of the bigger things too is, like you said, people do get fixated on the numbers, especially if they're not a creator, you know, if they're just viewing that through like a lens. But at the same time, when you see what the numbers are for likes and comments and shit like that, you know that number is almost doubled to tripled by the visibility of that post compared to just seeing like who's actually like engaging
with it.
Yeah, and I feel like that's the difference. And I feel like all part of that advertising is just being seen, whether that's 100%. Brand recognition, whether it's, you know, a podcast clip or like whatever it may be. We've kind of introduced like doing things differently with like the Sandbox, and shout out to Paris Street for allowing us to really impact like the kids, and how getting behind a microphone and having a conversation is something that is powerful and should be encouraged, whether there's 1,000 people listening or whether it's 10. And that's the approach that we had when we started this. And I feel like it's important for them to know that, because I wouldn't be able to be hired by Paris Street to do that if I didn't believe that at a younger age. Absolutely. You know?
I swear, bro, one of the best things I hear from people is when I see them, they're like, yo, I see you every single day on my feed. Because that just, to me, it's like you said, even if they're not liking, commenting, or following, it's still branding. Like they're seeing you.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing, bro. Just consistency and obviously quality content too. But consistency is the number one thing, I think.
Tom, you mentioned this before. You know, you kind of started before Chad had the whole prosciutto papi thing. But now, like, I feel like you guys really have that going in cohesion, and you know, you do your food things like independently, and like you do some of your other skits independently too. But you guys predominantly like do work together. How did that really like come together? Because let's just say people in East Boston specifically, like they knew that like we were all growing up, and we obviously, you know, all knew each other. But when did that really like click that you guys were going to be like, yo, like we can make a show together, like we can do this together? Is that just kind of like when you
took
guys?
A little bit. It took a little bit. I think even just starting this shit, bro, it was tough, like you said, because no one, like none of my friend group, like no one that I really knew was doing anything creatively. Like I think you had since the Sandbox, I was probably the only other thing that was like kind of in that creative space.
Yep.
So kind of like posting that TikTok shit, like just having fun with it. Like obviously you get people talking shit, and like you had to deal with some roadblocks for sure. But I powered through it, thank God, because you know it's changed my life now. But he came back from the military about 6 months in, I think, when I was like 6 months in, and by that point I was full steam. Like I didn't give a shit. Like I was powering through, posting 2-3 times a day. When he came home from the military, we were just like, you know, we'd hang out here and there. And I was my grandmother was in Florida, so my whole downstairs in my house was open. So I'd go down there and film my skits. And I think he just like, I think we were just on the phone one day. He was like, "Yo, I'm doing the route," because he was my mailman at the time. He was on my route. He's like, "Yo," he was like, let's film a video." I'm like, I'm down. Let's do a mailman video. So that was really the first one, and
that kicked off.
It was very. I remember like recalling it was very weird doing it because I was so used to like filming on a tripod. So filming like someone else and seeing someone else film me, it was different. Yeah. So it took some time to like actually find a rhythm, but we just kept filming together. The skits started doing better and better. I was still doing shit on my own. That's kind of about 3 or 4 months after that is when you met Kayla, and that kind of
So what's crazy is like when I came back from military, because I did reserves, bro, and it was COVID. It was 2020. I came back 9/11. That was your birthday. COVID.
Real ones now.
COVID. 2020. 9/11. I came back. I come back because it's reserves. So you come back and you have like. You live your normal life. So I come back, I'm like, oh. So I joined because I was homeless, and I come back, and I'm like, oh, still have nowhere to live.
Still homeless.
How does this work? How does this work? But I'm mad excited to come back, see my boys. Like,
pretty sure we had a couple betting conversations, smoking down the Empire and shit.
For real. Rob Catroni, we linked. You know, we like went out, you know, a couple times, had some fun. So I spent some money. You know, I was living on I was literally staying on my brother's couch, bro. I was like expecting for like a week or two, I'm gonna get my own apartment, get a car. And all of a sudden, like 2 months go by, I'm like, oh,
wait a minute, what's going on?
I have $3,000 left in my account. I came here with like 10.
Yeah,
what's going on?
What,
but it was COVID, bro.
What were you spending money on?
Just food and just like living, just going out. And
it's crazy how much I learned. I don't mean to cut you off, but I learned that too. In 2022, when I started making like real good money, like, dude, you spend money crazy when you just aren't even aware of it.
Absolutely.
But go ahead, continue.
Bro. So, anyways, I'm like sitting here. I'm like 2 months go by. I got $3K. I'm like, I got no car, so I bought a Volvo and
spending like your fucking Dave Portnoy.
Bro, Volvo sponsor this man.
Bro,
send him a new
right.
2006. I'm sitting on my bro's couch. I'm like, damn, what am I gonna do? And I'm like, all right, I'm in the military. It's federal. I'm like, let me get a federal job. So the post office, I just did it. Got in, started saving up, got my own place, and then I started hopping in the videos with T. And then probably like a month in, I go out to dinner with my boy Rob Paza. Meanwhile, they still have the plexiglass up for
This
COVID.
is like to give a time frame too. This is what, like September 21, something like that.
No.
22.
This is January 22. January 22, bro.
I don't know. I don't want to fuck up your story.
January 22 we started.
No, but you started your page before that. October 21.
Oh, it's 21. My bad. 21.
Fuck.
My bad. 21. It was COVID.
Your years are always
January
fucked up.
21. January 21, not 22. January 21. All right, so January 21, I meet Kayla.
No,
at
that's wrong.
No, it's not, bro.
Right.
Tom got the
Bro,
receipt.
Listen, because I was still with my ex until February 21. We didn't start doing videos till March 21. You were hopping in my videos.
It was March. Okay, March. I knew it was cold out. I thought it was January, so it's March. A couple months later, March. Because we did it as soon as you broke up, because you were like kind of tight.
I was jacked, yeah, too.
I was jacked. I was
listen,
jacked.
but then we were doing videos for a little bit. Then you met.
Then you met Kayla, correct? So yes.
Like September 21.
Oh, yeah.
So I was right the whole time. We just had this whole back and forth.
I started.
Steve's gonna have to cut this whole
no.
thing.
All right. I started Papi. I'm an idiot.
bloopers.
I'm an
Keep it
idiot.
in, keep it in,
Two-
Steve.
Oh, cool.
November 2021 is when Papi started.
Okay, perfect.
But what I was saying is, okay, March 2021 I started with you. So a couple months later, I met Kayla, At Paza, there's plexiglass things up. I'm eating with Rob. We got a burger. It sucked. It was horrible. It was horrible.
Come on.
I was pissed, you know. And then like,
I was just trying to go to the Hyatt to get the food.
for real though. There was 4 girls just chilling. Meanwhile, this plexiglass. I'm like, oh, what they got? They got some tiramisu like balls. They're like,
Nice.
I'm like, yo, what are those? And like, Kayla's mad out going. She's like, you want one? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're talking over glass. She's like, come over here. I'm like, all right, cool. So go over.
Rob's eating dinner by himself.
He came too. We were chilling. I got her number. Just started texting. I'm like, oh, I'd love to cook for you, blah, blah, blah. And then, anyways, I go to Florida like 2 weeks later. She comes over. I cook. She's like, oh, you should really make a page. I'm like, I don't got time. I'm in the post office military.
Yeah.
Because I was just so set on that mindset of just working, bro. Dude, she was like, all right, well, I'm going to make you a video. So a couple times I keep cooking. She ends up making a video, shows me how to edit. So she does it for like the first 3, 4, like 5 videos.
And you loved it.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, I'm fucking handsome. Shop looking. Like, all right, let's do it. And then, yeah, bro, she fucking had this algorithm. She was like, listen, we're going to do 1 a day on the feed, 1 a day off the feed. So 2 times a day. We built up like 30 videos, did it for a whole month, and just started fucking
from
hitting,
there.
bro. I got like 10K 3 months. I was
You know what's funny, bro? You know what's funny? I remember you were popping bottles for that too.
The 10K.
I just remember that, but it's funny like looking back on that. It's like, damn, you were like popping bottles for the 10K falls, which is a dope achievement.
Because it happens so quick.
It's just
bro.
funny. It's just funny thinking back on that though.
Absolutely.
Like, different times.
For sure.
Crazy,
and
bro.
from that, I mean, you guys branched into its content. You guys got the It's Boston hats, you know?
Yeah.
So I would love to know, like, when that process of, like, you guys taking that branding and, like, doing that together really took place and what went into that. Obviously, like, I know, like, the Boston logos and shit like that, that makes a lot of sense. But what was, like, yo, this can actually do so well, and you guys had those pop-up events, lines out the door, like, selling that shit.
Yeah, so the main thing really was, obviously we were doing our own thing for a little bit, but I think it was, when did we start? It was the end of 22, right? October 22, I think.
Yeah, because we
started talking to Kyle about doing a cooking show. We were going to do a cooking show originally.
That's what it was.
So we kind of came to the consensus, like, yo, you do the cooking, I do the comedy shit. Like, we can kind of mesh them together. We should build something bigger than ourselves. Because that was always the goal, is to, like, we need to build something that's going to sustain long term, right? Like, doing the brand deals and shit, like, is cool. But that's only going to last for so long, you know? And it's not a sustainable income. Like, I can't tell you what I'm going to make the next year. Like, it's always hustling. So we figured, like, hey, let's create an umbrella for different kind of content, our merchandise, podcasting, you know, eventually sign talent, do live entertainment. So that was the idea of its content.
It was originally chopping it up.
So originally it wasn't its content.
Yeah.
October 22, the idea was doing a cooking show together, which we wanted to build into, like, having celebrities on and doing, like, not a podcast, but, like...
Was that what the Gronk thing was? Was that kind of, like, around
that was
that
supposed
time?
to
It was
be,
supposed to be something like that, even though it wasn't. It was before that.
Okay.
It was before that.
A couple months before.
Because then what the idea transitioned to was, hey, let's just have Chopping It Up, the cooking show, a part of its content. So that's one of the shows we do, along with, like, the skits and everything else. We haven't been as consistent with that just because it's hard to, like, line people up and set up the food and all that. Right now, the deli stuff that we're doing, which we'll get into, is working.
Yeah.
But the original idea was just a cooking show. Then it was like, hey, let's build something bigger than that. Let's build, like, almost like a bar stool model, its content, and brand that. So, I mean, from there, we just started doing different skits. We had to hire 2 camera guys, a couple interns, too. So we took time to build a team for, like, 6 months. But within that 6 months, did the deli come first or did the merch come first?
Same time.
Same time,
But-
March. It was like March, I think.
I think
You can talk about the merch
a good
a
thing
little.
is, like, bro, we handicap each other so well. Like, there's some things that, like, for example, I brought up the hats to T. I'm like, yo, we should do merch. I actually seen a Boston hat that was similar to that.
A little similar.
A little
as
similar. Not as good. Not as cool, bro. Not as, like,
Not as
home
cool at
hitting
all.
as
It
that.
It wasn't the same logos either.
Yeah, like, the bridge is home. Like, yeah, we came up with the side patches and
It was
the
similar.
I-90 sign, the Patriots, and they had a different B.
You know those hats you see in, like, 7-Eleven, like, you can buy, like, the Boston touristy hats?
Yeah,
It looked
yeah.
like kind of one of those with some logos on it.
Okay.
But I said to Tim, like, yo, we should do it. So he's like, all right, well, like, bro, we have, like, he's trying to figure out, like,
Other
that,
shit,
the,
yeah, for its content.
for its content. He's like, all right, well, if you want to do it, let's do it. And
I basically was
all right.
like, hey, you're better with the merch shit. You take the lead. I'm going to focus on this shit, and if it works, let's roll with it.
Cool.
Because I've always loved clothes, bro. I've always been, like, trying to wear some...
Sneakerhead
something
Chad,
cool.
if y'all don't know.
Always,
Come on.
always. Kind of linked up this dude, Tommy, lived in L.A., just Shout out to Shit and
A plus. Shout out A plus production.
A plus. Yeah.
So he helped design that for sure. Put it together and sent one out, and we were like, "Yo, these are tough." And then T like started posting it, and they like, started going crazy. People going crazy for him.
But then I looked up the fucking logos, and it was a hat already.
Yeah, the shitty hat. Yeah, then
so
we made
the first sample he sent us was already a logo that was used online. I'm like, bro, we can't use this.
Yeah.
But it worked out because that pushed us to come up with different logos.
Yeah.
So we came up with the 9. That's 93, but we came up with the 90, 93 thing. We came up with that at the end for the Patriots. I think all of the rest too. The Red Sox and the S.
Everything. The violation.
The only things that we didn't come up with was maybe the Celtics and the T. I think those might have already been on there.
Okay.
And then we came up with the bridge and stuff on the side. So. We helped. We gave the kid ideas, but the kid Tommy really helped like bring our vision to life. So shout out him.
How long do you guys feel like those conversations were really had until you were like really comfortable with the product?
Ooh, that's
over a month or?
That's a good question. How did the process go? I feel like we got the samples.
We got the samples. Yeah,
I wasn't completely happy with the samples. We were just kind of wearing it in videos for fun because I'm like, all right, let's see if people even want it. And people wanted like the shitty sample we had. So I'm like, all right, well, we can make this better. And then I think probably. I mean, not too much, bro, because you know what? It was like, I want to say end of February, early March 2023. We got the first sample. We were wearing it in videos because we went to see Gronk in March.
Yeah,
and
we
then
had it on
a little bit after that, we came up with our own like prototype, which was like that pretty much. And we started wearing that. And then shortly after, we had our first pop-up event in April. So really, it was about a month, like a month and a half, probably.
That was that was a big way with that pop-up event, how to sell it. It's like, yo, we only have 100 of these hats. So if
you brought people together too.
Yeah, we got
that was still probably my favorite accomplishment.
That was the best feeling after, because like we got Dave's. They sponsored it. They gave us some free food. It was actually mad funny. His mom, my mom, were passing the food out.
I love that though. You need hands on.
We did it.
You've run events, like you know how it is, bro. It's not easy to get people out,
especially.
And like my whole thing is too, like with all that is like if I am doing like the events, like it's really hard for me to ask somebody that like I truly care about, like, hey, like do you mind taking this responsibility when it's not theirs, like you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And like I know, and that's a large part of like the problem with like the podcast is like I have my hands in like every part of it, and I'm happy that I do because I know like so much shit about it. But if I was to like do that, like I would hate to sit here and I do ask Danielle, but because she knows like part of what it takes. I'm like, hey, like, do you mind taking these pictures? Do you mind being a model? If we're doing like an event, and thank God and shout out to the Orient Heights Yacht Club, like they literally do everything whenever we host, you know, the drives and shit like that. But we didn't do any more of the outdoor pop-ups. One, because the last time we did it, rain really messed it up. And two, like down the end park, dude, like all those yuppie ass neighbors suck, dude. They literally
give you issues,
dude. Yeah, like they literally messaged me and like they called the cops, but like the cops weren't gonna do anything. Like we were down there and shit like that, obviously. But this was COVID time, and they're like, oh, like everyone's down there with no masks, this and that. I'm like, buddy, like you have nothing better to do than to look out your window and see people together, happy that they're together.
Right.
So trash.
You're in your house. Like, what does it? Doesn't affect you.
Yeah. It's funny though, because then the cops come and it's like the people don't realize like we know majority of the Eastie cops.
They're coming down in the cruiser. They're telling their boys to come down. They're coming to grab a free T-shirt.
Couple
like
hot dogs. Bootsies on the grill.
Well, that's the thing. Like, and now like we do like the live shows a little bit more often. Like we've done some trivia. Like we've been at the street hockey tournament like the past couple years. So you guys might have to sit in and like have to talk some football to do that live.
Definitely. I would love to,
bro. Yeah. I think it's definitely gonna be it's gonna be dope, bro. Once you guys actually like do like obviously you do it at the street hockey tournament, like a venue and like actually sell tickets and shit.
I know
that's gonna be a dope feeling, bro. Because after our first pop-up event, like I said, it was very successful. We had over a couple hundred people come through. Obviously a lot of friends and family, but the dopest part was it was my first time ever actually trying to get people to come out. So when we were pushing it, you know, like I was a little like not skeptical. Like I knew people would come out, but I was a little nervous.
Yeah, because you didn't want to be disappointed.
Like, I don't want all my because I have my mother coming to help with the food. My girlfriend's coming. My sister, all my family's coming. I'm like, I don't want to be. It's kind of embarrassing. No one shows up.
Yeah.
And it was like I think it started at 6. It was like 5:30, and I'm like, "Fuck, I don't see anyone." I see some cars. I'm like, "There's no way these people are here."
They were parked outside
because there's like other businesses and shit there. So I'm like, "There's no way these people are here for us." And then I think we did a little intro for our YouTube, and then I looked back outside like 5:45. There was a fucking line, bro. Like
I had Dom Caps working the door.
I know, dude. Hey, Dom was telling me like. That's good shit. Like Dom will literally like help you guys out. Like honestly, like whatever you guys ask him. And like Dom's a great dude. I don't know if you guys know, Twan and Dom are actually like cousins. Yeah.
It's dope.
I always tell him like y'all look alike. He gets tight.
Even with our pop-ups and shit though, it's like we never like. obviously we need the help, but I feel like people are always down to like that want to be involved,
be a
wanna
part.
help, and like, we're so down to have people involved in anything we do.
Yeah.
Obviously, if it makes sense, you know. So
sure.
obviously we had all hands on deck for that. That went really good, and then like a couple months later, we did it at the Grand, which was like a big step up, and we definitely learned lessons from that. Like we sold like 200 tickets for that, and then we had friends and family, so it was even more than that. So we probably had a few hundred people there. But the Grand, bro, is so big.
Yeah.
It holds like 600 people.
Huge.
Yeah.
We could have just did.
We should have. What we should have did was divide it so it was like we cut the place in half, because even though we had, like I said, a few hundred people there, obviously people are in and out. It felt a little empty for me, but again, we had a DJ there. It was a success.
Right.
Still having it at the Grand.
We sold fucking.
It holds 700 people in there, so
We sold
like,
a couple hundred hats. Like it was definitely a success. But if I were to do it again, I would definitely do it like a little smaller venue. But it was still sick. It was
learning
a good time.
process though.
That's it, bro. You live and you learn.
the
in this
first one was
industry.
a great feeling, though, bro. Like meeting so many people like that. I
Yeah,
got conjunctivitis. That's how many hands.
Did
I
you?
shook.
Who's finding your pillow, kid?
I was dapping everyone up. I must have touched my eye.
Signing people's hats and shit. Like it was the feeling after that first event was still my proudest accomplishment.
Now, the next one, we've made so many more connections now. So the next one, we can really have a lot of like
Moxies. I think
a lot of like
Moxie Seaport's
Patriot
gonna be the
players,
next
you
one.
know, and
Love
like
that.
bigger people pop out, you
Love
know,
that.
to like because it's
Oh,
cool.
Devontae Parker came to our
He
first.
did
That was cool.
because
Yeah.
it's cool, bro. Because when I was younger, I wish there was something where I could have went and like met like because bro, growing up in Boston, like any athlete was like.
Bro, you know what?
just-
You know
We
what
went to
really?
Basketball City, like, and you saw like Paul Pierce, like a Celtic
You were
kid.
geeked
That was
out,
it. Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
You know, it was a full circle moment for me, kind of like obviously like we love Vontae. Like he's a friend of the show, friend of the program, but he's obviously not like a Tom Brady or anything, but he's an NFL player. But it's so funny that like he was there and I seen him talking to like Marty Taylor. I'm like, where?
Yeah, what is Monty saying to this dude right
Number
now?
one, that, but like, how the fuck do we bridge this gap that like Devontae Parker from Louisville's talking to like the Lockheads and
My
like
God.
Marty?
Yeah, legit,
Crazy, bro.
Marty legit almost got us all canceled from Naples. Only dude walking around the beach with a torn ACL and legit ends up in the swamp at the Ritz-Carlton at the beach, bro. You know, you've been there.
Crazy.
Legit trying to fight the dude. I'm like, Marty, like, you legit aren't even in the scenario to be doing this right now.
He's just fucking on crutches with a MAGA hat on, shirtless, just like he's just a mess.
Screaming coastal to anybody that comes near.
Marty, you graduated 4 years ago. Marty, you're 30 years old. Coastal.
That's mad
He's
funny.
texting me. What's the word for UFC tonight? I don't know.
Oh
funny,
shit!
bro.
With all of that being said, you know, you guys have came to, you know, really grow the deli, and you know, big shout out to you guys being able to really put that together. And
Shout
you know,
out New Deal too.
yeah, New Dale's a great place. Like I've always gone in there, and people think I'm crazy. I go and I get the Grand Slam. What's it? No roast beef, no mayo. And
Wait, what is it?
they got the Grand Slam.
What
Pretty
is
sure
it?
they got like
Crazy
chicken
shit.
fingers, fries. Yeah, like
Jesus Christ.
bro, yeah. But I haven't been in there in a minute, but like I'm pretty sure that's what I used to get. I'm not a roast beef person. I know it's crazy, like being from Boston. That everyone loves roast beef, but I don't.
I feel you, bro. I'm not too like I
like the roast beefs.
beefs, but I'm like a dude. If it's too packed, I can't eat. I gotta like
Yeah,
take
yeah,
a lot
you
of
definitely
beef
can
out.
overpower with the beef. You know?
But you know what it is? I think I just like I think I just like James River and mayo.
Yeah.
And cheese. I think that's what it is.
right, throw anything else in there.
On an onion roll.
Any
And
other condiments? We can toss some prosciutto papi, vinegar, what's the
Yeah,
balsamic in there.
Crazy, bro. Yeah,
I just ran out of my olive oil, so I gotta
I
get
know
some
that.
more.
Then
Yeah,
I gotta
bro.
get it back up.
The deli's been it's been a huge success, and like I said, it kind of happened at the same time as the hats. I feel like the first couple months with its content, because I think we like really we understood the idea of its content beginning of January of 23, so a year ago, and we started implementing like the camera guys, and the original idea was its content was the YouTube, and then we were gonna do different kind of shows under it. So we were gonna do like a man on the street show, we were gonna do cooking show, skits like sketch comedy, like stuff like that, and do different kind of series on YouTube.
For sure.
We realized quickly it's hard, especially when you don't have the money to pay these camera guys to come out every other day to shoot. So we're like, hey, let's just focus on something that works. So we took time to try to figure out what was hitting on social media, and we just thought one day, hey, for the sketch comedy episode, let's try a deli. I think Italian deli's relatable.
It was actually funny because my brother hit us up. He's like, "Yo, the dude at New Deal wants you to go in there."
Your brother
He's the one
bridged the
who.
gap. Yeah,
Lou?
yeah, Lou.
Shout out Lou.
Lou's honestly the reason we did the deli. To be honest, he got us in there. Yeah.
And I feel like he plays the most different characters
does,
on
bro.
that show.
I say it all the time, like, bro, he really is the most talented. As far as impression shit, he's much more talented than me. I can't do all this shit he does.
Growing up, I've always told him, I'm like, bro, you're the funniest person I know. But now he's starting to get real comfortable with it, which is great, bro.
Yeah.
Which is so good.
And I feel like, you and him tried to start like that YouTube shit. Like, I remember I was one of those first subscribers, bro. Don't forget that.
I did forget
Come
about
on, dog.
that, bro.
Wait, what happened?
Lou and him
I
legit
did.
created a show, and they said something about, like, since the Sandbox, their first episode, and I don't think they dropped another one after that.
Wait,
Yo,
did you do were you in the car?
Yeah,
with
they
him?
were. They were.
He goes, I need a couple Fazuls from the guy in Hoboken.
Yeah, bro.
I
Holy
remember you
shit.
posted.
Come on,
but that's,
man.
I
OG.
got
Was
the
that
chills right now.
pre-TikTok? Like, was that before I even had TikTok?
It
I got
might
the
have been,
chills.
like,
No,
when it first started.
Because that
Were you
happened,
back
that's
from the
soon as
military
I,
already?
that's before I started with you. As soon as I came back, I
Okay.
probably seen you doing it and seen you doing that, and I was like, let's just try to do it. I'm
to
like,
do
you're so
something,
funny.
yeah.
Bro, I totally forgot about
Come
that.
on, dog.
I gotta find that video, bro.
It's got to be up
Yeah,
there. What was
yeah, I was
the
gonna say,
channel called?
I don't know.
I'm probably still subscribed to it, so I'll
Alright,
check it
we'll
after
we'll
this.
check out.
Damn,
Yeah,
that's
we'll go
so
and look at
funny.
the
I got
receipts.
the chills, but I really genuinely forgot about
But
that shit.
with Lou's role, do you guys kind of like tell him what you're expecting, or you just let him like fully take that character?
Yeah, so it's content, bro. Like so the team for its content, like the team that's contracted with its
Legally,
content,
yeah.
is me and him. Like we own 50-50. We're partners on it. We came up with the idea. We hired our camera guys, all that. So when we have people like Lou in there, we have other creators like this kid Ian, this girl Maggie, Jake Scally. Like we have these people come in to play different
Yeah,
characters.
Jake's a throwback. I legit grew up with him in Winthrop. I don't know if he's ever mentioned that to you
Really?
guys.
I think he did.
The
yeah.
Wilshire Street, bro. He used to
Yeah.
live on the main street, and I remember he used to have a bat in his house back in the day. Legit, I don't know if that sounds like Jake or not.
No, it does. It does. Nah, he's a good kid, bro. He's talented, bro. He can act. He's very good. But we have these kind of like, I don't want to call it like a Rolodex of talent we can have in, but it kind of is. Like the thing with us is like we started it's content on our own, so we're very protective of it. You know what I mean?
should
Like
be.
the Deli too. Like, you know, we got in there, we really built this, and everyone else has helped us build that too. But we take the time out and we're scripting at the office. Like
I'm
we're
gonna say that's at the
we're-
work bar, right? That's what you guys are doing?
yeah. And we're coordinating with Yano to get in there and film. And
We're
we
also
pay the camera guys.
We're building the loyal fans too, bro. Especially
Right.
with the merch that we started.
So when we have guys like Lou and Ian and Maggie and Jake, like they're all, I consider them a part of the team for sure. But
that's your
the
show.
way I look at Lou and Little Mo Mozzarella, we just had in here, he said it the best. He's like, cuz I'm just a machine gun. You're just gonna point me and tell me what to do, because he's so good. You gotta give him direction. So
That's
with,
how Lou is,
With Lou,
yeah.
it's like, hey, we come up with these fucking ideas, and he's legit a machine gun. You just gotta fucking aim him and shoot.
Yeah,
and
I love that.
he kills every role he does. And I mean, obviously, bro, best case scenario, we fucking get a production company to fucking reach out to us, give us money to build a pilot, and everyone's involved.
Yeah,
And we
yeah.
get it on Netflix or something. Like
sure.
that's the eventual goal, to do something like that. But I feel like they're all a part of the team though. Like it is like a team for
It's
sure.
it's really patience right now, bro. Because in my head, like the whole goal is literally Adam Sandler and just put all of his people on.
Yeah.
You know,
That is.
But like you
that
got to
is the
understand,
goal.
he's the main, like he's the foundation,
And everybody
he-
respected that, you know.
But
what I
it
mean?
has
Yeah.
to be like it because
Yeah, yeah.
that's exactly how I envision it right now.
So what goes into putting together an episode script? Is it just like a couple of ideas? Like I know like you guys usually like at the counter and I get like the gist of it, but I'm like when you guys are creating like different themes for like either different guests or like just like different skits at the deli, what really is like the thought process there? Is that like a lot of like freestyling?
So back to what I said earlier, how we handicap each other well. Like we'll sit in the office. It's always like the comedy's always going to be reused shit. Like everyone always gets something from back
Somebody
in the
else,
day
yeah.
and all this. So
Yeah, go ahead.
it all depends who's coming on. So like we'll sit there, blurt ideas out, but T's always typing. He's always writing the script. He types quick. If I type, I'm like this. I gotta do
went
one
to college,
finger.
I learned how to use Google Docs.
Yeah, fam. I've never
Bro, we
owned
literally
a.
type our scripts on Google. Like it's not like
That's
it's
all
not
good.
like a professional.
I've
thing,
never
right? Just
I've
Google
never
Docs.
owned a MacBook in my life. I got a Chromebook that I stole from Eastie High School. So, but
Branch of 40's coming. for you.
I was gonna say he might watch this.
I'm sitting. I
He's
didn't.
coming for that
No,
200.
no. I didn't steal it. They got trackers in those.
Yeah.
No, I really didn't. My dad gave it to me like back like in the day. He probably stole it though from Boston Public. Where the computer stole it. I don't know where, but anyways,
the city of Boston still owns that shit.
somehow. But yeah, dude. So it all depends who's coming on, how we're feeling, like different ideas.
What's trending?
What's
like,
trending?
The Belichick one, like it was like it just happened.
We actually just did a Travis Kelce one and Taylor Swift.
We're gonna post tomorrow, I think, before the game.
But
I think another thing to talk about too is how much we've leveled up as far as scripting it, because I feel like in the beginning we were really just doing like characters we've done in the past, like the Union guy and fucking Boston guys and fucking what else did we do? We did like a.
It's relatable to the area though.
Yeah, it works. It definitely works, and we still reuse those kind of characters. But now we put a lot more thought into like the long form, because I feel like everything is going to go to long form. Everything's going to go back to long form. I feel like the TV model is going to come back in some capacity in the future. So. And I think a lot of big creators are saying that too. So that's why we've really been focusing on the YouTube. And we want the YouTube, when you watch I don't know if you ever watched it on YouTube, but it looks more like a TV show on YouTube. Like, people don't know that those little clips on social media are part of the bigger episode.
For sure.
So we try to, like, now versus when we did it in the beginning, now we really try to map out, like, okay, how can we make this look like a TV show? How does each scene make sense chronologically? You know what I mean, in the episode? So that definitely takes a little more time, but I feel like it makes it so much better, and that's something I'm passionate about. I know you are too, is like producing and directing and like actually acting in it.
It's you know what's it's tough too, because like we'll get there and like we have the script, so then it's like we gotta send it people, really, so then we have to also send it people and
play your role too.
And then tell the cameramans how it's gonna go, then come back and get into character, and then you got everyone asking you questions, bro. So it's
you ever
not
gone,
easy.
Like, and I know like you guys are really close with a lot of the people that like you bring in, but like have you ever gotten like a little bit of like pushback? Not that it would be like attitude or anything, but just like, oh, like a cameraman, like I don't usually capture my angles like that.
I got this. Yeah, there's definitely some frustrations. For example,
are you talking about like in the deli? Like, like bringing someone in to shoot the deli, or like talent or someone?
Yeah.
So you know what I'm about to say. You think, right? There you go. All right. For example, the Scott Loda twins. They'll come. They'll smoke a joint and get geeked, and then they're just like,
yeah.
And it's like, dog, what the fuck, bro? I told you don't smoke, bro. So. But then you know,
like
still
get
it done.
Give them a little kick in the ass, but they perform though.
No,
they're funny. Yeah. When I will say when I started doing the podcast, like, and we were just recording on Zoom with like Lou and Kev, like, yeah, like we would all be geeked and just do that. But like when I was like, yo, like I actually feel like people can watch these clips and it's like, yo, this is like a reflection of Since the Sandbox.
Yes,
this is a reflection of me. I'm like, yo, regardless if I'm still delivering facts out there, my eyes are red as shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Wait, so did you smoke before this?
No,
right? No, so like that's why I actually was telling T. I'm honestly gonna say this because I truly think, dude, like the weed in dispensaries is not normal weed, right? It's not, dude. Like I've been smoking, dude, since I was like 15, 16. And stopped when I was in the military for about a year, and then always found my way back, bro. So it really makes you lazy, bro, I swear. But there was one, obviously you know the shit with my dad back in the day, and I like, bro, I smoked something, and I was just so like geeked. I'm in the shower, bro, and like I'm like dozing off, bro. Like I literally just did like some real shit, like some legit like dope, bro. I just seen my face in the reflection, just seen my dad, bro. I started crying, and I was like, bro, I will never smoke again in my life. I swear to God, I'll never do it.
Nah, I feel that.
Sometimes you need, like I was telling you, need like something like that to like fucking
wake you up.
Reality check. Yeah. Not that weed's like this fucking crazy drug,
shit.
But you know, if it's giving you thoughts like that, bro, it's not healthy.
No,
that and then
it's different for everybody.
And
too,
it's just like, bro, especially the shit we're doing. If I smoke, I don't want to talk to no one. I can't not want to talk to anyone doing the shit we're doing.
I retired from weed at 14. I poured Gatorade on my head in Faneuil Hall with Matt Torres.
Yo, Matt's probably in the other room listening right now.
Bro, Matt influenced everyone in East.
Yeah, get Matt here to tell the story.
Matt, where you at?
That'd actually be, if he comes in there and tells the story.
Paper boy. I feel like production-wise, like I can smoke and I can still like produce like a YouTube episode and shit like that. But I definitely have like learned my priorities, and I feel like that's a big part of it. And obviously, you know, understanding who you are is part of that process as well.
I had another good example for your previous question about like kind of dealing with roadblocks in production.
Yeah.
When we had and not that they're bad people or anything, but when we had Millie's in, it was hard because they all came in like stoned and like, you know, he has a crew of like 8 dudes he's with, and he's not like an actor, you know, so we really had to like kind of push past that. Obviously, he's like one of the number 1 rappers in Massachusetts, or just in the Northeast. So we had to push past that like barrier, like you said, like and be like, all right, well, we have to direct this dude.
Tell him what to do.
Tell him what to do. So
was he cool with that?
He was cool, yeah. He's definitely reserved in the beginning, for sure. Like, I feel like a lot of people that come in are a little reserved until they get comfortable with you.
Yeah.
And the first few takes were tough. Like, we didn't really get anything funny, and then I think me or you said something funny, and you got him to laugh.
That's
and
what
then
it
after
is.
that,
It
it
was
kind
a
of
wrap.
pushed past that, and then he's like, "Yo, let me get my people in it." So then we did the one, and he pulled up with like it was like
No,
him
I
and-
see.
it was him and like 6 black dudes and 2 girls.
Shiesty mask
and
on.
we did like that funny scene of like, oh, we were like scared of them, like, you know. But
Yeah.
that was the one that did all the views, that video. So
Yeah.
I think the
That's
main
dope.
thing is just breaking the ice. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
kind of gonna be comfortable with. It doesn't matter if it's fucking Lou Ciampi or Mark Wahlberg in there. You just gotta like really take action in there.
And,
That's
and the
all it
biggest
is.
thing is too when people, I feel like with Millie's too. Obviously, we met him times
Prior,
before, but
yeah.
like people see us on camera and off camera the same people. So I think that
That's
was
what-
a
I think
big
that
thing
makes
too.
people
We seen like the
comfortable,
shots. Like, okay, we're literally just talking. Like there's no cameras. It's just a normal
Yeah, because
combo.
so the
Yeah.
scripts too. This is something to touch on too with the production. We script up each episode for the most part, but it's very semi-scripted. Like we'll use the script as a direction of where it's going, but
And free ball.
it's mostly improv, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we'll memorize the script to a certain extent, but it's mostly improv, which is what I like because I feel like that's where you get the most natural reactions, and like
For sure.
we do bloopers too, so like that's where you get laughs and shit because you're not expecting something. So.
Absolutely. And that's like what I try and do with like these episodes. These are a bunch of like talking points, but like obviously, I mean, people don't know that you guys been here for an hour and a half already. We just been shooting
I
the shit
know,
about
I
like
know,
whatever,
shit,
you know
I
what I
know.
mean? But that's like what I really like about like since the Sandbox, a lot of the kids come on for like the first time and they're like scared to get behind a microphone. Like they might not even like know me, and they're like, yo, like I don't know if I really want to do this, but I'm like just sit.
It's
like,
intimidating, bro.
No, it is.
When you
It
have
is.
like even like just this, like just 2 cameras on you,
And
bro.
the lights,
like,
yeah.
And then even like we
Bad.
it's intimidating, bro. But like obviously now we do it all the time, so it's like you know
Whatever.
it's easy. But
Yeah.
I could see for like because you're talking like the high school kids, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
even
like
younger,
that, like
too.
Paris Street
the
Community
Paris Street
Center kids. Yeah.
I can imagine that must be because I was always a shy kid growing up. I wouldn't be able to fucking if you told me I was doing this shit now when I was younger, because you guys know me growing up. I was never like an extroverted person. I was
Yeah,
always
yeah.
quiet, like. Obviously, fucked around with the boys, but like I was
Yeah.
never like a.
The
person
most
to put myself
extroverted
on
you
the
were
screen.
was like when you and John would say you guys are from Japan. You guys would be like fucking toe to toe,
bro.
whatever you
Chad
need.
don't know
Yeah.
about that. But bro, that's
Mini
that,
stick days.
It's actually crazy because I was always like a weird kid. Like and John was too. Lockhead was too.
Still is.
But what I found too was because I never like probably the last year I kind of figured this out. But people would always ask me like, "Yo, why'd you start doing the videos? Why'd you start?" I'm like, I don't fucking know. I just did it. But my subconscious, really, bro. We used to make those movies on Facebook with the Lockheads all the time.
Yeah.
Aaron Souza, like Ryan Tosto.
Yeah.
And that's like, bro, I always had like that passion for like making video. Like I enjoyed making videos, so I think that's kind of where it came from, which is funny.
Yeah, but you guys mentioned, you know, like a lot of the guests, like you mentioned Mark Wahlberg, Millie's. You know, you guys have had Gronk on the show, and
Pretty
popping up to Strega and having conversations with Nick Verano. So, you know, what have all of those interactions really been like? Are you gaining like a lot of perspective to that? I know, like specifically, shout out Nicky Verano, the Verano family. Like he's always dropping knowledge every single time. Like that dude speaks. But I know it's different interactions for both, and then you guys get that cosign from like Mark Wahlberg. Like that's huge. Like I'm sure you guys are trying to get him like on the Deli and shit like that.
It's just full circle life, bro. It's
Yeah.
like, and it's you just really realize that all these people are just normal people, bro.
That's it.
And it's like obviously you see them on TV and shit. It's like you know in your head like, oh, it's just a normal person. Like they have their own issues. But until you actually meet them and like talk to them, you really realize it's like, okay, well this guy has all his own issues. Like he has his all. And not that they were negative experiences. They were all great experiences. But you could tell they're just
Builds character.
average people, bro.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know that are just fucking have this public they're a public figure. So it's they're in that spotlight a lot more than other people. But those experiences have been great. I mean, I think obviously my number one is Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Gronk was number one for a while, but Wahlberg trumps that. Just because Wahlberg is from the inner city, bro. Like you get it because you're from there. Like it's hard for me to. I feel like people like think I'm stupid, like weird when I explain it to them, like how the inner city is really different than the suburbs. Like meeting Mark Wahlberg means so much more to me than meeting like a Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. Not that it wouldn't be cool, but they're not actually from the inner city. I'm almost positive. So meeting someone like Mark who came from the inner city and he's doing what I eventually want to do, which is be in movies and TV shows one day, that shit like hit so much different. And he was just a genuine person.
It's so different being from the city, dude. Like I wouldn't be the person I am today if I didn't grow up like being 12-year-olds taking the Green Line downtown and like
selling
just
PS4,
selling my
PS2.
PS4, getting robbed.
Buying sneakers, like,
bro,
shit like that.
buying sneakers at Foot Locker at like 12, but going to
not even Foot Locker. I remember taking the freaking Red Line, the first time I ever taken the Red Line
Expressions.
to go buy some Cherry 12s, and my mother's like, my mother's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, she's thinking I'm crazy. I'm like, bro, I needed these shoes. I can't get them.
My dad gave me I remember going with Rob Catroni, bro. We went to Orange Line to Forest Hills, took a cab to meet this kid. We bought like playoff 12s, cherry 13s, and just like crazy shit. 13 years old, and we like just had money, went to Dick's Last Resort at Faneuil Hall.
Yeah, legit.
But like, bro,
wait, where'd you get all this dough from?
Bro, we would just like, you know what actually is crazy? Shoveling.
Shoveling and working at the Hyatt.
No, we were 12, 13, bro.
Shit,
we weren't working. It was literally shoveling. I've been working, bro. I swear, since young.
Yeah.
But one thing I wanted to say is growing up in the city, one thing I remember and always will is like, because this area is not a good area. Right at Park Street, right,
Park Street,
right where that AMC is, across from the Common. Like that's not a good area. So we would go over there. Obviously, it's college now, but at least back like 2010s.
Before it was a college like area like that,
crazy,
downtown
bro.
Crossing.
I would go to like that corner mall. You know the corner mall?
Yeah,
you guys? Bro, so like that's OG shit. And it's all crackhead. There's not a lot of good people over there, bro.
like that,
Like I got robbed young. I went with Billy Henderson to sell my P4. I just wanted money. Just a punk. And GameStop wouldn't buy it unless you were 18. I was like 14, 15, bro. Going down there, that's a bad area, bro. So I just like asked it. I was like, yo, you can sell this for me, bro? I'll give you like 30, 40 bucks. Bro sold and just dipped.
Wow.
Just boogied. I was like,
Damn.
I went to the cop. He's like, yeah, kid, you shouldn't even be down here. I was like, I told my dad. He just gave me a beating.
Yeah.
But I mean, bro, because he just bought that.
The PlayStation, yeah.
He just bought it, and I was like, nice. Went to sold it and just got beat.
So I wanted, like, obviously, we all did grow up in East End, and like that's a different like part of the city than like obviously the other side of the tunnel, but I do still feel like the interactions like that we had in like high school and like just like the networks that we had, but also being a part of growing up in what East Boston was before like we were even like to that age, like East Boston Mustang, like that type of hockey style, like it definitely
people don't know about the East Boston Mustang.
Nah, like that's a throwback, and like I just try and like put like all the pieces of like our childhood together, and like that's really like what built this up. And just you guys know Kev, obviously, like his girlfriend now she's from Chicago. Like she never had friends from like childhood, and I'm like all my friends are from childhood.
Crazy, bro.
And like literally kids that I've gone to school with, like me and Danielle have literally been in the same class since kindergarten, and like now
the house league at Peraza with Mike Grudy.
Legit, like I still got my jerseys downstairs.
Crazy,
I swear
right?
to God.
I know, bro, so many memories because I learned that too in college, bro. When I went to college and going to EC High, bro, like it's very diverse. This is like I always say it to people every time when they ask me about high school. There was probably 500 kids and probably 50 white kids.
Yeah.
But you meet so many people from different backgrounds, which is sick. But I went to college and I met like a lot of like suburban kids who went to school in like all white schools, bro. Like
they don't know.
You know what I mean? They don't know, like they don't get people's different cultures and shit.
Yeah.
Which I think is such a blessing growing up in the city, bro.
It is,
it helps a lot.
And like that's the struggle for me being out in Wakefield now. Like obviously, with me being engaged, like the thought like going forward is like, like we're gonna have like a family together one day. Like that obviously like that's the goal. And I think it's so important for a young kid to be able to grow up in the city because you have a better understanding of a lot of shit that I feel like if they grow up in the burbs like that, they wouldn't. And like that's just future perspective away from like all of this. That's just like real life shit. You know what I mean? But like at the same time, one, like it's really tough to like be able to either have a house or even an apartment like in the city, and like two, like I just don't really feel like East Boston's like a neighborhood that's developing and growing kids like we were at the Tot Law. Bro, we were on Everett Street.
Think about like literally
Empire,
how competitive with the sports too. Like bro, it was just different.
It ain't like that no more.
Nah, it's not. So I definitely wouldn't raise a kid in East East.
Yeah.
So I don't have a kid.
We talked a lot about what you guys are doing together, but now like you guys are growing like your own brands like individually as part of this all. Papi, you got the oils sauces, you got the seasonings that you've been coming out with, a lot of like your merch, we got your hat up there. And Tom, you got like the Beantown Brew, so I'd love to give you guys just an opportunity to, you know, share the great part about that, the story behind it. Would have been some struggles with it because I know production absolutely sucks. And it seems like
how you want to start?
Yeah, it's all growing pains, bro. It's all growing pains. Just worked with this.
It's lessons. It's all lessons.
It is lessons. Just worked with this one dude who wanted to start it up. He does like influences to help them start their own product, which was cool. Got launched.
All right, so let's give a little context. We work with the same person.
Okay.
It's not our products.
Okay.
But continue.
Yeah, it was just like because we drop shipped it too. It was just ran into a lot of roadblocks that shouldn't have been running into.
Yeah.
Like obviously I expect some things when you start a business, but like, all right, you know, let's start about 4 or 5 different things going wrong. It's like, okay, guys, wait a minute, this is and then I seen someone else come out with a very similar label as me that's been out. I mean, definitely expect things to be rough when you start a product to any company. You know what I mean? It's not easy.
Yeah.
But we drop shipped and just like 4, 5, 6 different things started going wrong. I'm like, oh, like this shouldn't be this complicated. This shouldn't be going like this. So everyone got their olive oil. Was taking a while. We had some people complaining about the things, and like me, I'm a type of person is like when I see that someone wants their money back, I've just like gave them my money. I was like, dude, I'll Venmo you. I'll Venmo you. Just keep the olive oil. I'll Venmo you.
Yeah.
I just don't want you know what I mean? Cause I'm a dude that like. I want shit to go good.
Smooth,
Like I'll do anything I can for it to be smooth. It was rocky, so I was like, you know what? Let's just get everyone their olive oil, shut it down, and I want to pop my ways with them, and I gotta figure it out if I want to do it on my own, which is probably the better bet. But doing so much shit, bro, it's like
hard to spend the time like that.
I think another thing too is we learned like these 2 guys, like they're good dudes. Like they're not like fucking. I don't think they're scamming anyone or anything like that. Like I've had a decent experience with them. Obviously, I've run into my own roadblock, but I realize they work with a lot of influencers, so they're trying to discover these different industries. So they don't really know exactly like the best routes to go in these. Like he's in the food industry, I'm in the coffee industry, so it's different things. They're dealing with different kind of manufacturers and stuff like that, and companies. So I think they were trying to navigate the challenges as well. But I mean, if you're working with an influencer and they're putting their time into this, you got to get it right. So
Absolutely.
I think it kind of just was like the straw that broke the camel's back with him, and they just parted ways, which I think is probably the best bet for you. For me, on the other hand, I'm still working with them, and they've been good. But we just had another issue with the bags. People finally got their bags. We did the pre-sale and I think September, people just got their bags. So it wasn't supposed to be that long.
Yeah.
Again, it could have been out of their control, but, I already put my order minimums in with them. So we're going to keep it going and keep it rolling. Hopefully things pick up. But, I mean, the first pre-sale was good. Like, I sold about, I think it was like 300 bags in like a week, which is good. Now it's really going to get back into pushing it again. So the coffee's Beantown Brew's still alive. So if you haven't gone to Beantown Brew,
don't worry, it's coming.
We're gonna put the website back up. We're gonna fix our mistakes, but it's been a learning experience, bro. It's been lessons learned, but we're gonna keep powering forward.
You know what I was just thinking? Mr. Make It Happen.
Yeah.
Dude, he sells hundreds, thousands of knives, seasonings. I might give him a call and be like, yo, let's fucking
make it happen.
Make it happen. He's one of the biggest creators for sure.
But those are things that like when I first started coming out with like the Born and Raised in East t-shirts, because like those have been out for like at least 3.5 years now. I understood that like I wanted to get them like in bulk because I didn't know if like people were gonna love them, people like weren't gonna like, and it was different. It was all brand new to me. So like there's definitely like a timeline that I feel like I need to follow. Like with merch specifically, I feel like I kind of need to be like a little bit more ahead, like kind of like at a 6-month timeline. I love having like the Easty stuff in stock because we're obviously selling those in stores now, which is absolutely dope. And yeah, like obviously going into Meridian and like Carlos back in the day, like I'm going in there and I'm just having like a nice conversation, but the fact that like they've seen like me grow up as like a kid and like they want to be able to do that, that's why like it's nothing crazy, but we dedicate like a shirt to each of like those respective businesses, and like you can't order that on our website. Like you have to go in there, get their business, and like you have to go pick up your t-shirt then too.
That's that's what we were doing too with the coffee. So I got it in shout out Nico Verano. We got in Rena's next to Strega.
Okay,
it's in there. It's gonna be in another place. I think it's in the suburbs. It's like a little food market. Gonna get it in Newdale, and then it's in Frank Anthony's in Seaport. So it's gonna be in some stores for people to get it.
There we go.
While the website's still down, because we gotta fix some things before we put the website back up. But it's been dope, bro. It's gonna be cool because there's just starting to get it now, so they're gonna start stocking it. But that's gonna be kind of like a cool moment to see everything come to life, because it's been like a 7-8 month process.
For sure. Just to even think like 5-10 years ago, like yo, I'm gonna have a product one day, and that's gonna be in a store.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy. It really is. So I'm excited for it.
going through all this, I thank you guys for, really reflecting on, like, your content journey and, like, where you guys are both at individually. But getting towards the back end, really wanted to tailor this more towards what we talk about at Since the Sandbox. When we talk about football, we talk about sports. Do you want to do the picks first? All right, we can do the picks first.
You gotta give the picks how you give the picks.
So today we got the Ravens going against the Texans, 9.5
Wait,
points
they played
spread.
today?
Yeah, 4:30, bro.
Oh yeah, 2 games on today.
2 games on and a UFC card, and then
big day for sports.
tonight we got San Francisco in the pack.
Big day for sports.
So
I'm telling you, just from last week, bro. It's just always going to be opposite of what everyone. I really don't think it's going to be San Fran.
Who loses, San Fran or Baltimore?
So I think one of them has to lose, bro. I don't think they both
I feel
win.
that. I think both the Packers and the Texans can cover the spread.
You know what scares me? The last seven seed team to win it was the Packers with Rodgers.
The Packers are also 5-4 versus the 49ers all time in the playoffs.
5-4.
5-4.
You know who I'm rooting for? C.J. Stroud. Giving it
Yeah?
to Lamar Jackson.
Bro, he's a dog. I like him because he does remind me of Brady.
Can Lamar Jackson do something though? Is this the year? Is he gonna do something? What's going on?
There's a lot, with all of that, and like we just had Kyle Arrington on Thursday, and he's actually attending the Super Bowl, so like we got some cool perspective on
Kyle
Lamar.
Arrington. What a fucking throwback. How'd you connect with him?
So I got connected with him when I was working at the base. Part of his foundation, the Evolve Foundation, they partner with iRobot, and I was doing a lot of work with them at the time. That's how I got the recognition at Fenway as like a STEM educator. So shout out to them. That was great stuff. So they were like, hey, like we hear you do like the podcast. Like we'd love to get you in connection with Kyle Arrington. So last year was like the first time we got connected with him. He had a great experience, and he was like, yeah, I'm more than willing to like come back on. And like what I really want to align for him is like I want him to go and speak to like the students at East Boston High and like just share like what it's like being able to like be a dude that played in the league that's still grinding and wanting the betterment for people. Like he's partnered with like New York like Global, and with all of that like he's trying to teach like a finance and equity class like and shit like that. He's doing a lot with like the STEM world. So like he's honestly just like a great dude and like really appreciative for like the time that he's able to like give to me. So
awesome.
Yeah, and like especially with us being in Boston, like I know I'm not a Patriots fan, but for a lot of our community, like they would love to hear from like Kyle Arrington,
Bro, I mean the athlete, Nick Verano said it best. The athletes here are the celebrities.
Absolutely.
The athletes are the celebrities here, bro. We don't have any fucking. We don't have movie stars out and about every day like L.A. or fucking New York, bro. Like the athletes. Jason Tatum is fucking the Mark Wahlberg here. Like, he is the fucking. He's the guy here.
I thought he was gonna show up a little bit stronger last night. Took the
buddy,
super boost with.
I'm sick to my stomach. I had a nice same game parlay.
He's getting better. It's just, bro, he's not.
Does he have the dog? Does he have the dog?
Clutch, bro.
You better be careful what you say, buddy, because if we have
I love Tatum. Nasty. He's top 3 player in the league, if not one of the best right now. It's just every time we need a win, it's just never get
I gotta
it
say
done,
though,
bro.
seeing
seeing
Jokic up close, he's miserable.
Oh my god,
he hates his life.
He don't like the spotlight.
He doesn't even try. He's just putting up 40 points, triple-double casually.
Easily, yeah.
But he treats it like a 9 out of 5. He's like,
you gotta see, bro, because
So
we were
pissed.
like right next to their bench. So when they would, what's that called when they go sub in? When they sub in, he would be right there, like just so miserable. He was not looking at anyone, just like looking up in the crowd. Like
every time there's a team timeout, he was by himself, not talking to anyone, not talking to the coach.
He just wants to go see his horses. That's all.
Fam, he's like, it's crazy, and it's just funny because we learned this with Gronk. It's like Gronk's the same person on camera. You could just see Jokic is that same person.
Yes,
he's that same person. He's like he don't even want to play. You can just see the body.
But when
language.
they won the championship and he was pissed they had a parade.
Yeah.
Oh, he was so pissed.
He probably
That's
don't even.
crazy.
He probably don't like America, to be honest. He probably don't.
I mean, bro, think about it. You grow if you had to go move to a different country to play a sport. You don't. I mean, you're probably not gonna. Obviously, America's great, and going to like fucking Russia or something would suck. But like, I mean, that's where all his fucking probably family and friends are and shit. You know, he don't want to be here.
But to this weekend's games, and Tom, if you want to share anything with UFC, obviously feel free. Yeah. But
I'll give some picks.
Are you guys expecting next rounds for some upsets to go through? What are we thinking for the Super Bowl? Who's the team that's most likely to be in the Super Bowl?
I think the Lions might go, bro.
Really? I think the Lions lose this week.
Yeah.
They were talking a lot of smack about Baker Mayfield. I feel like every single time you put some billboard shit out there the week prior, and every single week, dude, there's an upset. If there's any team that's gonna upset it, dude, I really think the Lions are gonna blow it.
You know what it is though? Tampa's not good on the road, bro.
No, they're not, and I feel like they don't have like the numbers that they've had in prior years. But I just feel like the Lions are I feel like they're the most fraudulent team that's left.
You know what it is though with them, with that coach is, bro, they're a team. Like they're a team. You can just see it. It's just
different than the Lions in the past. That's for sure.
You know what I think?
Yeah.
I think Buffalo goes down.
Yeah, Kev's going through a table today.
I think they're building up Josh Allen, all the hype, and fucking Mahomes.
Kev's luck will go through a table and like shatter his elbow.
Kev's not gonna go through the table because
that's true, bro.
Buffalo goes down. Baltimore goes down.
Oh shit.
KC goes to the Super Bowl against San Fran.
Hey,
no way.
Listen,
I
know you said that Kansas City might lose, but
I'm heavy
listen,
on Buffalo.
There's no way that the NFL does not want Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift
bro.
under that
That's
confetti.
true, though. That's true.
I can't count out Mahomes. Now he got Taylor Swift in his corner.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
Bro,
You're
they
right,
want
though.
Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl.
You're right.
They do.
You're right.
And honestly, they probably have like the highest odds. Besides the Bucks, obviously, but them and the Packers, they're probably right there. In every other year, they're a favorite. They're not a favorite this year.
I wonder what the odds are to get.
It's probably
You
like
should take it, and then when they get there, just cash it out.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, I really think. Listen, I can see these picks going opposite. I can definitely go 0 for 2. I want to say
that's a good way to preface it.
Detroit money line and Buffalo money line at
shit.
home.
Oh shit! I literally took Tampa and Kansas City money, so we're opposite this week. Yeah, it's all good though.
But I mean, I was wrong with every pick last week. That's why I said this can probably go 0 and 2.
Yeah.
But
let us know what's gonna happen tonight in UFC.
All right, so UFC for sure. My lock of the night is this dude, Mike Malott. I was telling you they're having their first event back in Canada, so they have all like the Canadian upcoming stars on the card.
Yeah.
So this dude, Mike Malott, he's not that young. I think he's like 31 or 32, but he's like the Canada next hope. Like he's like the guy that they're building up for Canada. And he's fighting this dude, Neil Magny. He fought on the card we were at in Boston against Ian Gary, and Ian Gary kicked the shit out of him. He's just like
that's the bald dude with the
black guy. Yeah. He's a black guy. Is he bald? I think
no,
he's
I'm talking
bald.
about the Ian Gary is the dude.
Yes, he fought that guy, kicked the shit out of him. Dude, Mike Malott, he's fighting this guy that he should be, bro. So I that's my lock. He is a minus like 375. He's a heavy favorite, but if you were to parlay him and like Sean Strickland and maybe even one of the other Canadian guys that's like a heavier favorite, that 3 legs should be even money.
Okay.
So that would be my pick. My lock though, lock Mike Malott money line straight. Mike Malott, Sean Strickland, better value 2-leg parlay right there. That's what I'm probably gonna throw down on tonight. But and then I'll probably throw like a
Chad's working right now.
Nah, you know what it is though, because just like last week, I think there'll be 2 teams max to cover the spread, whether it's plus the favorites or not. But
what do you think?
I don't know.
I think that Ravens-Texans game goes under. Everyone's gonna think points for the Texans.
See, but you gotta like.
I want a confident lock though.
All right, so the way now I'm thinking the media made it like, oh, Shanahan was prepping for Green Bay at halftime. Yeah. Green Bay covers. Green Bay covers. Absolutely.
I think there's gonna be points in that one. I think that one goes over.
Yeah, for sure.
But guys, as we're breaking down, the last thing I really wanted to talk to you guys about here, you guys are both Patriots fans. What are your thoughts on Gerard Mayo and Bill Belichick being dismissed?
It's very weird place for football right now. You got D'Amico Ryans, linebacker coach for the Texans now a coach. You got Antonio Pierce, used to be a linebacker for the Giants. Now he's coach. Now you got Gerard Mayo, the same thing. Pretty cool. I think it's a good switch up. It's what we need, and I think they might get Jaden Daniels. I think we needed it, bro.
I
want Caleb Williams.
I'm not that upset to see Belichick go. It does suck as a fan, obviously, but I'm not like as far as the team's future. Like I'm not that upset.
You can appreciate his time, but just also understand that it's a different age and generation of NFL players that won't really adapt to his play style like that.
I agree,
and not necessarily the X's and O's and the schematics, but just the way he carries a team. Like I feel like it's not like dudes have fun. Like when you see Mike McDaniels being like a freaking crazy dude on the sidelines, players want to go to that compared to like a Belichick.
They do, but then you get like that, they're having fun, and then they don't
losing.
even make the playoffs.
Yeah, losing. No, I know.
But what I was gonna say is Pat's got they're healthy. They got a top 3 defense, especially they have a Super Bowl caliber defense. They need to re-sign Duggar. You got to get Zeke back. We got Mondre for 1 more year. The Dupop Douglas is nice,
legit.
bro. He's from Florida. Any football player in the league from Florida is good.
Yeah.
Who we drafted?
very good.
That's the real question.
I think you definitely go quarterback, but I said like if the guy that they're looking for isn't there, don't make a panic pick, like because they need to hit on the picks regardless of the position, you know.
Dude, this draft's very similar with the Mahomes draft. You got Drake May, literally Trubisky.
Yeah.
But honestly, I thought this about Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. I was like, oh, they're gonna suck, and then they lit it up.
Yeah.
But I don't think Drake May's. I don't think
We've
he's
had
a
a couple
dog,
people
bro.
saying that they think Caleb Williams is the next Mahomes. We got a lot of people saying that. I don't know, bro. I don't watch a lot of college football, so I don't want to speak on this. So I don't really know.
He didn't live up to expectations this year, Caleb. He didn't play too great.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of tough losses. He definitely keeps them scoring points in some games, but like USC just isn't like the prestigious like college football school that they once were.
If
know?
Mike Penix didn't have all these injuries, he'd be first round.
He's gonna be close.
He's dead accurate, bro.
Yeah, I feel like he's like a good underrated.
He
dude.
throws both hands. I didn't know that.
Yeah, crazy.
That's
I
crazy.
feel like he might try and be like a lefty in the NFL, but like
The injuries are kind of scary, though, no?
Yeah.
Bro, he fucking like tore his shoulder. I think he tore his ACL
He's
twice.
banged up this year too, like at the championship game.
It's tough to do that. There's one wide receiver I would like the Pats to get, Keon Coleman.
Okay.
You know who
okay.
that is on
Yeah.
FSU.
But
he's a later round pick though. I think he's a first round pick though.
there's a lot of good wide receivers. You talk about like Rome from Washington. You obviously got Marvin Harrison, and then Bauer's coming over. I know he's more of like that tight end, but like this is a really stacked draft. And then you're talking about a lot of defensive studs without even mentioning any offensive linemen. So like I get really excited around the draft time because it just kind of continues that football conversation. But you guys were at the Celtics last night. They disappointed a little bit. We don't got to go too in depth with that. You guys think that they have enough to win it all though?
Oh my God!
They definitely have enough.
If it's not this year, bro, it's not looking good.
Very hard, bro.
I know.
I said this last year. You're not gonna get more depth than what they had last year. They have it this year. It's better with Drew Holiday.
Yeah.
Definitely better with.
Do you think they need to get anyone else?
Drew.
It's
Not
tough
this
because I feel like they're trying to empower a dude like they're trying to empower a dude like Pritchard and like Sam Hauser to play larger roles, and like at points in times they do. But I also just feel like we're too dependent on the 3-point game, and I would love for and like Brown and Tatum are both great mid-range guys, and Derek White has absolutely played like a very prominent role in part of this team. But I would love for a dude to just come in and just bang like mid-range J's, like a DeMar DeRozan. And obviously we're not going to go and get a DeMar because we don't have the financial flexibility or anything like that. But I feel like we just need that. Like KP is great. Al Horford's a great like second center. You know?
I wouldn't mind if they somehow got Bruce Brown.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. He's
nice.
from here.
No,
He'd
it
bring
would be a
that
cool
energy.
got
Toronto don't want him.
Yeah.
They said they don't want him.
Yeah,
But I mean, I think the C's are good, bro. We just gotta. I don't know, Derek White. If he's not an all-star this year, honestly, obviously Tatum deserves, but dude, he deserves it to be almost more than anyone on the team, bro.
Last night, bro, he was our top scorer.
He was
They was
balling.
cheering MVP for him.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, he deserves it because he's just hitting threes like crazy. He's playing the best defense on the team. It's
Tatum went fucking 1 for 9 on threes last night.
I know. It's
just
dude.
crazy,
He literally didn't score more than 2 points the last 7 minutes.
and
of
it
the
was
game.
just
That
like
can't happen.
that play at the end was just so sad, bro.
Yeah, and
it
he's
was
just-
just like so weak.
relying on the rest for the fouls. Like you
You know
can't
what's
do
crazy,
that.
bro? I was just listening to his podcast. Evan Turner had him on his podcast, and it's just like he was just talking about like obviously his life and shit. And he's like, bro, it's like everyone comes to watch me play and be Superman every night. So I'm like, I feel him. It's like he's just a normal dude.
Yeah.
So it's hard to put so much shit on him, especially with Boston media and the fans. It's a lot.
Yeah.
So I do respect him a lot, but. You see shit like that, and it's like, fuck. It's like,
Yeah.
you know how good of a player he is.
I
It's
know.
like, you just want him to put up 40 every night.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's just so hard to do
You know,
that, bro.
you know what I
Absolutely.
love though when Drew Holiday gets it, and when he has a mismatch with a guard, he always backs him down. Then easy like
Drew's a great
gets him a
addition.
layup or easy shot. But I really wish, honestly, him and Derek White took that last shot.
Yeah.
I mean, you're
I
paying Tatum big bucks. I mean, you're paying
Brown,
JB big bucks.
450
They
million.
should get the ball, but I mean, like, I don't know.
Brown laid another egg last night too.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Yeah.
Derek White was lighting it up. Drew Holiday played good. I mean, Denver's guards are like okay. Like Reggie Jackson isn't gonna stop Derek White or Drew Holiday.
yeah.
So like they should have gave him the
Oh,
ball.
Christian
if you
Brown,
ask
you know
me.
Christian
sure.
Brown.
Yeah,
He's a
Denver.
dog.
He's
Honestly,
the only kid that called the coach.
he said, "Coach." I was like, bro, that's crazy.
That's
DeAndre
bad
Jordan is on their team too, which I didn't even
Yeah,
realize.
he's a
Yeah.
role player. He's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
he's a huge.
Yeah, he's a big.
He called the kid from the crowd like, "Come get a piece of candy." It was dope.
Really?
That was
That's
cool.
fire. Well, guys, this wrap things up. But I want to give you guys, the last moment. Anything else that you guys would like to share on the pod?
Oh fuck.
Got some good Deli episodes coming out on YouTube. You gotta
Yeah,
check them
yep.
out. It's content on YouTube. Got some really good ones coming out. Some funny ones. I want to
working
show
on-
you one we just
We're
did.
working on
Okay.
a project to bring in our fans and like get them involved in the content. It's
That's
like
dope.
almost like a kind of Shark Tank mixed with a talent show kind of vibe.
Okay.
We're gonna do like we're gonna be judges and shit. So we're working on that
Nice.
project. That takes a lot of like production back end work.
Yeah.
And then the merch, man. The merch. If you haven't gotten your merch, it's content.com. We just released actually our Italian hats again, and we
Okay.
released the rainbow swash hat. So
that's probably what those orders were that you just checked. You're like, oh, we got a lot of orders because the new shit was up.
maybe. Yeah,
we just put it up, but we didn't like post that it's up. So there's people that
Yeah, just
peeped it.
clicking on the link and then
So
it's already
definitely go
ready.
check that out. And then our podcast too. It's Content Podcast. We actually just hired an intern to run our podcast page for us, like just to get clips out there. Because we have 17 episodes now, and we have all these clips. We just haven't been posting it because number one, we don't want to rush it. Number two, it's just the timing, bro. It's
Yeah,
so much
it's
to
hard.
post on different accounts and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
So
Takes a lot of time to post that, too.
yeah, definitely keep a lookout for that. And then obviously, bro, like just for your podcast, bro, I respect what you do, and you've been doing this now for how many years? 4 years.
Going on 5 in September.
Yeah, bro. So I respect
What?
that, especially
Damn, I
we're
feel
in this,
mad
we're in
old,
this
bro.
fucking space of like creativity, and like we know what it's like to hit roadblocks, especially when you're doing something like a podcast where it's like kind of the same thing every time. It's hard to stay creative. Like that's why we do a bunch of different shit, because like that's just what we can do within our content. But with the podcast, bro, it's tough because everyone's doing it. So I respect the hustle you put into it, bro.
Thank you.
Just
Yeah.
keep it going.
That's the goal. Just try and encourage other people to be able to create and not let the hype and the thing that the movement that you guys been talking about that's going on in Boston, just kind of continue that and let
Especially coming from East Boston, bro. No one has done really anything creative like this ever. So
Take
it's,
pride
The
in
last
that.
anything
cool to
from
pave the
Eastie
way,
was
you know?
Jermaine
Absolutely.
Wiggins.
yeah,
like
legit.
the people, like we get so many people that will hit us up and be like, yo, I want to be content creator because of you, or like, what do I do to become a content creator? And like you said, you're doing the thing with the Parish Street kids, you're inspiring those kids to do the same thing. So it's dope to like obviously kind of start this wave of like the creativity space in Boston, because there's not really much of it.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
You know Bobby Ryan?
Yeah, I know Bobby.
He's killing it right now. I've
Is he?
seen with his because
Is he out in Cali?
he's from East. Yeah, he did like his own bud. I think a dispensary or something. But Cali, yeah,
Bobby Ryan,
Yeah.
he used to be my basketball
I was
coach.
gonna
That's why I
say,
asked you.
EBYBL,
So
yeah,
I was
come on.
close with him from there, and I'm just like, damn, he's just. I remember because bro, he's very inspirational. His story, because he liver. I think he needed not liver, a kidney. You
Yeah.
have 2 kidneys, right? You have 2 kidneys, or is it liver?
No,
Like I can give you my
kidney,
kidney, right? Yeah. So he needed that for years, and I think he got it, and bro, like his whole life changed. I don't know, like he moved to Cali, started his own thing, and he's just. I seen he donated mad shoes to East Boston or something, right? The team.
I didn't like see too much like about it honestly, but like I know like he'd be doing like shit. Like
I seen,
that, so,
yeah,
like,
I
the
know. I
basketball
thought
team
like
and
2
shit.
years ago something they posted it. He's like,
Yeah.
I could finally get back to the high school. Like,
Yeah.
they all got kicks. I was like, oh, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
It's a long
So-
way from Salesian summer camp.
Yeah. Right.
It's actually not that far away. It's 20 minutes away. But it's
That's
crazy
mad
how
funny.
much shit's happened since then. So
Legit.
it was good to chop it up.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys for taking the time. And since the Sandbox fans, we
go.
got a full slate of football this weekend. We got, the podcast episodes coming out. We got the Kyle Arrington episode. So make sure you guys are staying tuned, going to check out its content and everything that they got
All right.
going on. And
Here we go.
plenty more.
I got.
Mike Malott money line. Mike Malott money
got-
line.
All right, I think Baltimore gets by this round,
Here we go.
but they're kind of just like Dallas.
Yeah.
They're just like Dallas. You kind of can't take them until they do it.
Feel
Like
that.
Dallas, I took them, and it was just like
Regretted it.
they're the same team. Low key, can't win.
Yeah.
Can't win.
Peace. Love.
Houston,
Five-star.
Houston, Mike Malott, Stroud, Strickland, 3-link power.
Let's go.